This is Ryan Selby again, and I'm going to do a class on how to set up the Optiflow Jr starting from the heater and going all the way to the baby. This video is really geared towards nurses and doctors who may not have set this up before, as opposed to RTs who set this up quite a bit. So what I have here on a table is I'm going to have an RT 330 Optiflow Jr kit. I have my baby, of course. I have a power supply, a temperature probe, a nasal cannula, and then I'm going to have the green O2 tubing that we're going to go ahead and plug into our blender. So the first thing what you want to start with when you set up your Optiflow Jr is to grab the RT 330 kit. We're going to be moving everything that's on this bag onto this IV pole here. So let's go ahead and break this open. And we're going to want to grab out or take out the MR290 water chamber. And these just push down this little blue front door, and then you slide the MR290 chamber all the way in until it seats and the blue door comes up. Then you pull on this blue tab like this. This opens up the areas where we're going to plug in our inspiratory limb and our pop-off manifold. Uncoil the stick that's going to go into an inhalation bag or a sterile water bag. Now, I don't have an insulation bag with me, but you're going to take this stick and put it right into an inhalation bag. Now, on this side, always on this side is where you want to plug in your pop-off manifold. This pop-off manifold is set at 40 centimeters of water pressure. It has a port here for those who require placing in a portable O2 analyzer. And we're going to go ahead and plug this on this side of the MR290 water chamber. And then we will take our green O2 tubing, and any O2 tubing will be fine, and that plugs into the top of your pop-off manifold, and then we run your O2 tubing. If you have a blender on the IV pole, you can run it into the blender there, or you can run it into a blender onto the wall. We're just going to go ahead and drape it over on this IV pole for the time being. Okay, the last thing we take out of the bag is going to be our inspiratory limb. And in this inspiratory limb, what I want to point out to you all is you'll notice that there is a female port located right there where we're going to plug in our power supply line. We have a port here where we're going to plug in a temperature probe, and a port here where we're going to plug in a temperature probe. Take the inspiratory limb, and if you noticed on your heater, you'll notice that there are two plugs or areas where we're going to plug in our temperature probes and our power supply. So this is why you want to put the inspiratory limb on the same side as your power supply, or the plugs for your power supply and temperature probe. We're going to go ahead and drape this like so, and we will grab our power supply, and you'll notice that the power supply here is yellow, and then there is basically a outlet where you can plug in the yellow right here. So you match the colors up, and you're going to go ahead and slide this in like so. And there are two prongs at the end. There's a double prong and there's a triple prong. You take the triple prong and you plug it into the base of your inspiratory limb. So this will be your power that's going to provide heat to your inspiratory limb. Your temperature probe will go next, and you'll notice that its male plug is blue. And there's a female blue receiver right there. So we'll just go ahead and plug that in like so. Now there is a dual prong temperature probe here and a single prong temperature probe here. The dual prong obviously is going to go at the base located right here. So you want to unplug this cap. Now the dual prong has a little triangle piece, and you have a triangle cutout right in where you're going to plug this in. So make sure that you match the triangle piece in with the triangle cutout, and then press until you no longer can see blue on that temperature probe. I like to feed the circuits around, or not the circuits, but the temperature probe wiring around the circuit, just to kind of clean it up a little bit. It's not required, but we'll just do a couple of wraps, and then we plug in the single temperature probe right there, put that onto the IV pole, and away you go. Now, to get the heater ready, we have the power supply in. Let's assume we have the water here, and when you turn the heater on, there is a power button located right there. So you just press it, and it'll immediately turn on and start to go through its functions. And so that's what it's doing right now. It will default to invasive mode, or 37 degrees Celsius. You want to keep invasive mode, or 37 degrees Celsius, for all your babies. So no reason to change that. If this ever alarms, it's only going to alarm based on the heat and humidification of the system, not on pressure or flow that's being provided to the baby. Okay, so when we plug in our OJ2 cannula into the baby, as you guys all remember, there are 5 sizes on the cannulas. There are 5 sizes available to you: extra small, small, medium, large, extra large. And when you determine the size, basically you line up these dots next up to the baby's nose, and you're going for a 50% occlusion. We used to say 50% occlusion. That's a little bit too complicated to kind of visualize. So now what we say is make sure, just hold the dots next to the baby's nose and make sure that there's space all the way around so that you have a leak. Okay. So open up the cannula. This baby is going to be a small. Remember to remove the tabs on the outside like so, and revealing the adhesive. Open this all the way up so it's easy to manipulate. Put the prongs into the baby's nose, push down where the adhesive is exposed, remove the second tab so that the adhesive is completely sealed. Run your fingers on the outside of the Optiflow Jr cannula, the wiggle pads, and then take your inspiratory limb, and notice that there is a proprietary male adapter on the Optiflow Jr, and this will fit directly right into the circuit itself. Now, these circuits come with a clip, so you can clip it to the bedside. You can clip it to the mom if she's doing kangaroo care. I'm just going to go ahead and clip it like so. And we set the flow to, typically we recommend is going to be about 6 to 8 liters of flow for your NICU babies. And that is Optiflow Jr. So thank you very much. And